This story is about Isaac and Rebekah.
A few years later, Sarah was dead. Abraham called for his servant. He said, "Go to my hometown and find a wife for Isaac there." And the servant went on his way. 4 to 6 weeks later, when Abraham's servant reached there, he prayed. He said, "Lord God, let the person who gives me water and water for my camels to drink be Isaac's wife, so that I will know that you have not left my master." He asked a lady named Rebekah. Rebekah gave him water and water for his camels to drink. A few days later, Rebekah agreed to go back to his land and marry Isaac. Rebekah and Isaac got married and had 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. This is the part 2 of Jacob and Esau. After Jacob stole the blessing from Esau, Esau plotted to kill him. Rebekah heard this and told Jacob to go quickly to her brother's place. A few days later, after Jacob reached his uncle's place, he was working for Laban for 7 years because he wanted to marry one of Laban's daughters named Rachel. When Jacob went to ask for Rachel, Laban said, "You have to work for me for another 7 years." Jacob was mad but still did it for Rachel. Laban prepared a wedding for Jacob and Rachel. During that wedding, he made Jacob drunk, and he made him lay with his daughter Leah. When Jacob woke up, he was mad and told Laban that he wanted to go to his land and see his brother. Laban agreed and let him go. Jacob and Esau Part 3. A few days after Jacob moved out of Laban's house, he wrestled with God. He told God that he wanted a blessing. God changed his name from Jacob into Israel, and he told him to go ahead and go to his brother. The next morning, Jacob went on to meet his brother Esau. When Esau first saw Jacob, he was mad, but the spirit of forgiveness came upon him, and he forgave his brother Jacob. Then after, Jacob and Esau lived as 2 happy brothers. The story of Joseph. Jacob had 11 sons. Joseph was one of them, but he was his favorite, and his brothers hated him. The anger of his brothers got so much that they decided to get rid of him. They threw him in a well for days. This led them to selling their own brother. When Joseph got to Egypt, a man named Potiphar bought him. He worked with Potiphar for a long time. Potiphar liked him because he had more wisdom than every other servant that he had. The story of Joseph, Part 2. It was 2 years after Joseph was thrown into prison. Pharaoh had some dreams. Pharaoh's cupbearer remembered when he was in prison, Joseph interpreted his dreams, so Pharaoh called for Joseph. Pharaoh told Joseph his dreams, and Joseph interpreted it. There will be a famine for 7 years, so grow all the good crops now before the famine comes. Because Pharaoh couldn't find anyone like Joseph, he put Joseph in charge of his kingdom. No one but Pharaoh was higher than Joseph.